It is the first of the month, and you know what that means. People from every community are rallying in support of their favorite gacha game, claiming, my game is better than yours, my game is doing better than yours. All the while, companies continue to milk millions, tens of millions of dollars out of each of us, which leaves you to wonder, who are the real losers here? It's definitely not the studios. Now, if this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the little bell notification, that way you remain up to date with every single thing that I post, and I post daily. Do not miss out. As always, this is exclusively mobile revenue. There are numerous games here that are released on mobile and PC, and then several that are also released on mobile, PC, and console. Now let's jump in and see. Already, there is a 10% decline in total revenue over last month. All revenue here is combined China, global, Japan, Korea. Honkai Star Rail comes in at number 1. In August, it made 40.3 million. In September, it made 67 million. That is an enormous number, and actually a little bit lower than anticipated. People expected the game to make upwards of 100 million for September. Still incredible numbers nonetheless. Love and Deep Space comes in at number 2. In August, it made 51 million, and then in September it made 62.5 million. That is incredible. It actually maintained its number 2 position, but that is proof that you don't need hot waifus to have a successful gacha game. Kudos to them. At number 3 is Genshin Impact, which is up just slightly from August, from 42 million to 45 million. I know people expected Notlon to bolster the revenue for the game exponentially, but it really didn't, surprisingly. AFK Journey is down from 71 million to 34 million. That makes sense. Was the launch month in China, but that is still an enormous amount of money. And I do want to point out here, in case you see steep declines in your favorite gacha game or significant increases, that doesn't mean your game is necessarily dead. I feel like as long as your game is making upwards of like $1 or $2 million, your game is still a relative success. We have Zenless, which is up from 32 to 34 million. I'm actually surprised to see that too. I thought a lot of people were saying Jane Doe was gonna really skyrocket the revenue for the game, and then with the Caesar banner as well. But I mean, seeing it stabilize at a solid $30 million is fantastic. I know there were also people that were speculating this was going to be much worse than it is, and evidently that is not the case. Next up is Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, from 31 million to 33 million. Totally deserved and understandable. Then we have Naruto Mobile, which is maintaining its $25-ish million in China alone. Could imagine if that released globally as well. Then we have Uma Musume boosting from 19 million to 23 million. That is a phenomenal number, and pretty much par for the course with Uma Musume. I wonder how the global revenue is going to contribute to that overall, given it will be releasing globally very soon. Monster Strike is down from 31 million to 22 million in Japan. Fate Grand Order is down from 50 million to 21 million. That is a significant decrease, sure, but I mean, it's no bigger really than the AFK Journey decrease. And I mean, that's kind of expected as well, given Fate Grand Order typically sits between like 15 to 30 million per month. Arknights is down from 22.5 to 18.5 million. That is a very small decrease, but at the same time is incredible. I didn't know Arknights was making that much money. This is one of my 2 favorite gacha games, Nikke and Arknights. I am incredibly impressed to see a tower defense game doing so well. Speaking of Nikke, down from 18 million to 14 million, which is about average for Nikke, which tends to sit around 15 to 20 million dollars a month. Azure Lane up from 4.9 to 11.1 million. Holy, that is incredible. Is that because of the new dorm feature that was introduced? Holy crap, that is crazy. Puzzle and Dragons is up from 14.3 to 10, or down from 14.3 to 10.2. I've never played this game and I have no idea what it's about, but clearly it's still killing it. Before we go any further, let me take a moment here to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. One Piece Bounty Rush down from 17 million to 8 million. Light and Night, 8.2 million, 8.2 million in China. Goddamn. I think that's also another Husbando game. They are popular over in China. Summoner's War down from 12 million to 8 million. Reverse 1999 up from 3.7 million to 7 million. What a month for Reverse 1999. God damn, they are killing it. Gakuen Idolmaster down from 13 million to 7 million. Wuthering Waves down from 13.5 to 6.7 million. That is definitely a lower spot, a lower number than I had anticipated, but at the same time, when you have an entire month of nothing but the free male character Shang Liao, I guess it does make sense. And I know people are going to be arguing in the comments, but I mean, Shang Liao was a free character. Most people play on PC, and yeah, that is true, and that is also true, but even so, this is a downward trend that is definitely concerning. Even if revenue was double, triple, or quadruple on PC, likely on PC, the revenue has also seen a steep decline. Just like it did with Tower of Fantasy. It's the same defense that Tower of Fantasy players used. I'm curious to see how Shorekeeper affects revenue for the month of October, but I still think roughly $7 million on mobile is a very good number. Again, like I noted, anything above like 1 or 2 million is still fantastic for your game. Solo Leveling Arise down from 11 to 6 million, and this was supposed to be Netmarble's new cash cow. Dragon Ball Legends down from 9.4 to 5.9 million. Low Archive down from 9.7 to 5.7 million. I think that's the lowest it has been at all year. Ensemble Stars down from 7 million to 5.7. Beyond the World, which looks to be another Husbando gacha game, launched at 5.5 million. So China is just pushing our female Chinese women just single or disappointed with the Chinese men in their lives. Epic 7 up from 3.5 to 5.3 million. That's big, almost double. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis up from 2.2 to 5.2 million. That's fantastic. We have Heaven Burns Red down from 5 to 4 million. Cookie Run Kingdom up from 2 million to 4 million. Snowbreak down from 3.8 to 3.6 million, which is still really high. Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross up from 3.3 million. Oh, actually sitting stable at 3.3 million. Honkai Impact Third up from 2.2 to 3.1 million. Sword of Convalaria down from 10 million to 3. That makes sense. It was a very pay-to-win game. Memento Mori down from 4 to 3 million. Fire Emblem Heroes down from 5 to 3 million. Guilong Chao opened to almost $3 million in China. That is actually pretty big. I'm impressed. AFK Arena down from 3.4 to 2.7 million. Punishing Grey Raven down from 1.8 to 1.7. Limbus Company up from 500,000 to 1.7 million. Brown Dust 2 up from 1.2 to 1.5 million. Path to Nowhere down from 1.8 to 1.5 million. We're down like 100 positions and we haven't seen Tower of Fantasy. Oh my god, is it going to be above the 1 million with combined China, global, Japan, Korea? I guess we'll see. Atelier Rezal Rihanna down 20,000. Okay, Cat Fantasy 1.2 million. That's actually not bad given the kind of game Cat Fantasy is. Persona 5 to Phantom X down from 1.5 to 1.1 million. I think that's launching in Japan soon, which is going to massively bolster its revenue. Girls Frontline 2 down from 1.3 to 1.1 million. Tower of God New World down from 1.3 to 1 million. Dude, the fact that literally Cat Fantasy, Atelier Resla Rihanna, Tower of God New World, the fact that another Eden is out earning Fantasy is crazy. But again, this is just mobile revenue, so do keep that in mind. Apocalypse 900k, Dislight 800k, Tower Fantasy down from 900 to 800,000. I feel like we all love seeing that. I feel like Tower Fantasy is everyone's favorite punching bag. Ether Gazer down from 830 to 720. Black Clover M down from 650 to 530. Outer Plane down from 1.1 to 500,000. Neural Cloud up from 320 to 415. There we go. That's nice. Guardian Tales down from 420 to 380. That's kind of concerning. Girls Frontline down from 330 to 240. Danmachi Battle Chronicles down from 260,000 to 200,000. That's definitely low. One Punch Man World down from 45,000 to 30,000. That's terrible and well deserved. Higan Erithol still at $20,000. The dude that's paying $20,000 on his account is crazy, but I'm sure the devs love you for it. Same with Arkland, which is still at $10,000. Alice Fiction shut down, Astro Tatarica shut down, and I guess this game did too. And that is revenue for September 2024. A lot of games did, I think, worse than people had anticipated. I think, surprisingly, September 2024 was a lower revenue month than anyone had expected it to do. Games that were projected to make like 90, $100 million didn't. Games that were projected to make 20, 30 million didn't. Games that were supposed to see or projected to see an increase didn't. What a month. But at the end of the day, I think this is all pretty standard. I think everything ended up similarly to where I had anticipated. I figured, like, I've always been of the opinion that Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact are always going to kind of gravitate towards, like, around that 40 to 50 million area. When Zenless launched, people asked me where I thought it was going to fall. I said it's probably going to sit around 20 million with spikes up to 30. When Wuthering Waves launched, they asked where I thought that would sit. I said it's not a Hoyo game, so it's probably going to sit around 5 to 10 million with spikes up to like 15. And those have all been pretty accurate so far. I guess we'll see how all of these games, Honkai Star Rail, Zenless, Arknights with its insane boost, Wuwa, and other games like Neverness ultimately end up doing over the course of the next year, especially given with Wuthering Waves' poor performance in terms of like FPS on mobile devices, and other games that are also looking as good as they do, like Azure Primelia, Neverness to Everness, likely also falling into that same issues with low performance that Wuwa does, I think are going to have a detrimental effect on their potential success as well. I think the reason why Hoyo games do as well as they do is because they work phenomenally on mobile devices, and other games just don't seem to be able to replicate that. Hey you, where do you think you're going? Don't you close out of this tab. I didn't give you permission to do that. Sit your ass back down. Click one of the 2 videos that are gonna be on screen in just a moment and keep watching my content. Keep enjoying my content.